This episode has us exploring around City of Rocks in Silver City, still in New Mexico. City of Rocks is a New Mexico state park located in Faywood, New Mexico, and it sits at about 5,200 feet of elevation. The rock that's found here was formed almost 35 million years ago by a volcanic eruption. Millions of years of erosion sculpted the rock formations that we see today. These pinnacles and boulders rise as high as 40 feet. What nature has created is a 1 square mile playground in the Chihuahuan Desert. We thoroughly enjoyed our time exploring and playing on these rock formations. The formations here truly are otherworldly, and sometimes feels like you're in an episode of Star Trek. Sometimes a puppy can fit into a space where daddies cannot. After a day of exploring the rock formations, we were treated with a spectacular sunset. The next day, we headed to Silver City. Silver City is the first gateway community of the Continental Divide Trail Coalition. Where the town now sits was once a lush, grassy wetland, and has been inhabited for over 1,000 years. The valley in which Silver City resides drains the Pinos Altos Mountains to the north and the Continental Divide to the west. Unfortunately, town founders placed Main Street right in the path of the watershed's natural drainage route. The results were disastrous. Each year, the rains wore away the Main Street until a major flood in 1895 when the town gave up. These are the remains. Kelly found her street as we explored the town. The town had an artsy vibe which we all enjoyed. Before long it was lunchtime and time to check out Little Toad Creek Brewery and Distillery. It contained beautiful murals and delicious food.
Alright, so we're at Little Toad Creek Brewery and Distillery in downtown Silver City, New Mexico. Beer's decent, very homebrewy, but decent. I went with their New Mexico Reuben, which is local pastrami. Oh man, local pastrami, Swiss, kraut, homemade Thousand Island dressing, but adds green chilies because when you're in New Mexico, you gotta have green chilies on everything. So, Holy cow. The crunch of the bread, perfectly toasted. Super, super thin pastrami, which is really the way that I like it. But man, those green chilies, ooh, they got some heat.
Stormy wants some. Okay, so I have Eric's Burger, which has regular patty, but then it also is kind of like a Reuben, where it has thin sliced pastrami, Thousand Island dressing, sauerkraut, hatch green chilies, of course, and Swiss cheese. So, a Reuben burger.
That's huge.
Burger bite.
New Mexico food has been so good.
That was fantastic. And homemade Thousand Island. It's good. It's almost like a little crispy from the thin sliced pastrami. And then the cheese is great. That extra kick from the chili though, for me, is perfect. They didn't see the chilies, so you get a little bit of extra heat. And it seems to be a variety that's a little more spicy. At dusk, we headed back to the City of Rocks, where we were serenaded by the resident great horned owls.
Thank you.
We watched as the pair chattered back and forth until the sun set. The next day was Thanksgiving, and we had big plans. So happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Thanksgiving.
We are just starting a hike out here in City of Rocks State Park in New Mexico. I'm just gonna do like a 6-mile hike up to Tabletop Mountain.
Table Mountain, I think?
Table Mountain, Tabletop Mountain. We'll let you know later. Anyhow, happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the view. And what do I spy with my little eye? An Oliver travel trailer. What we're having next. Same model, LE2. Very cool.
Stormy, are you on top Table Mountain?
So we made it to the top of Table Mountain. It's about 3.2 miles, 3.3 miles from our campsite. About 2.6, 2.5 coming up.
6 in, yeah.
And about 588 feet of elevation gain.
So not very much, but it was all at like the last quarter mile.
Yeah, the first mile and a half was super easy, and then there were two pretty good pitches to get up here. Stormy was a trooper. He kind of watched him going down. He kind of slipped a little bit at one point, but it seems okay. And the view that we're rewarded with is just incredible up here. So take a look around. The peak offered a terrific view of the little city of rocks below. So fortunately there's a nice little tree behind us to block the wind.
It's very windy up here.
But I lugged my backpack up so I could bring the drone up so you get some cool footage up here. And it is just, it's probably blowing like 20 to 30 now and gusting
More
around 40.
Yeah.
So I'm just not that comfortable yet to take a chance of flying the drone right off the cliff. Looking down at the ridgeline you have to traverse to get to the top, and then from the bottom looking up.
Way up there is where we selected Table Mountain.
So this is the new normal for after walks in the desert. Stormy's feet keep getting awns and goat heads in them. There's just some really nasty prickers.
Hairy
So
feet. They get up in between and then in the skin, and then we get an abscess.
So after hikes, they have to all be taken out. Stormy, how do you feel after your 6.2 miles? I'm kind of sleepy.
That summarizes it well.
Special weather statement. Periods of light to moderate snow possible through Friday night.
We're in New Mexico!
A potent winter storm is expected to move through area beginning this afternoon, lasting into early Saturday morning.
This look at the Weather Channel. That.
Something
is over yonder. So according to the radar, that's just rain.
Thanksgiving, nomad style.
I've used just about every pot and pan we have in SeeMor. But the chicken is done and resting. It looks beautiful. We've got some bacon that's going on top of the Brussels sprouts when they come out of the oven. And some sweet potatoes and stuffing that's resting. And a puppy dog who really wants a bite. And then we've got a bottle of wine and some cranberry. And football on the TV. Thanksgiving done right. Some Brussels sprouts gratin. 2 different types of cheeses, bacon, heavy cream. I think this is going to be amazing. A tall guy has to carve a turkey in a small galley. You gotta hunch down in the sink. We're making all the counter space we have left. We're making it work. Did you get tired of waiting? Did you want to go and watch TV? Are you watching Stormy TV? What's going on out there? Not too shabby.
Stormy, who's your visitor? Do you have a friend?
Birdie?
Is it a birdie? Yeah.
Just hanging out on the propane.
Checking out its reflection.
Bye-bye, birdie.
And this is the end of our Thanksgiving. Just did cleanup. Enjoying another beautiful dusk in New Mexico. Our last one, Arizona tomorrow. We enjoyed 4 beautiful sunsets in the City of Rocks, but it was time to roll.